Hi, I've just gotten back from Larnaca. Larnaca is a town in the south side on the beach. It's one of the main beach resorts, I think, for holiday makers. And there's so many tourists, so many bodies who are not staying there for a long time, you know. It's almost like as if they would cover the whole place with their physicality in a way. It's quite strange. But I swam for a short time. The main reason I went there is to interview or to talk to this woman I have met last week at the Home for Cooperation at this meeting. And she's about 55, I think, and she's very active in trying to unify North and South Cypriots. She says that her motivation is she's doing it for her children. She has like 3 children, and she wants them to grow up in a peaceful environment, basically. Yeah, the whole thing was very touching, actually, and very emotional. So for me, the main goal of this interview, or the base for the questions I asked her, was really to try to find out how I, as my personality, or as my person, as a Swiss woman, 35 and so on, how can I relate, also like physically and emotionally relate to this conflict, you know? Because I think that's what basically theater does, and that's my interest in theater as well. Like, how can you relate to others and to others' experiences and to other lives in the end, right? So I asked her a lot of questions, and she talked a lot. She just told me about her life, basically, and of course, the moment when she was not really talking about war. So when the war happened in '74, she was 12, and then her family was expulsed from Famagusta, which is in the north, is in North Cyprus. She was like exposed to Larnaca. So her family and her then lived there after this line was drawn on the map and separated North and South Cyprus. So the war is a great, like a big drama, of course, and she didn't really talk about the war, but whenever the topic got close to it, you know, she had like her skin started to curl, and yeah, and she got really emotional. And it's like something that, you know, it's so interesting when you see that from a person, you just can't help. It's just like you just feel it as well. This is like this empathy between one and one is totally there. While when you read about the conflict, of course, I've read a lot about this war as well, and it's just politics. It's just happening. It's fine. Yeah, and I also asked her about how public space had changed, or how her perception of public space had changed. And it was really impressive. So when in 2004 they opened the buffer zone, or like the green line, and people could eventually cross. And so a lot, she said, and it must have been such an event. On the first day after the opening, a lot of people went to the respective, like the South Cyprus to the north, and vice versa, to see their homeland, like their hometowns, because they hadn't visited them for 30 years. So there was a lot of traffic, she says, and she said that she remembers that on this first day, like she went to Famagusta, I think, to the north, and she said that a lot of people would look at her, but then over time, you know, like you started to do it more. You got used to, like, she was very good in describing. She said that one day she went to Zara, this clothes shop store in Larnaca, and she saw a Turkish Cypriot woman there shopping, and she said that she just looked at her and she said to herself, is a normal woman, she's like us. So, you know, like these moments, which is really touching, like these moments when all what you've been told during your whole life just breaks down because you actually see the other person. Yeah, So anyway, I think I probably stop here. Yeah, I think I can say that this day like made me realize again how important it is for me to talk to people and to like somehow to connect this to my work. Okay. So more tomorrow, hopefully. Good night.